Welcome back, Wealthy Nation. Happy day of the week to you in specific time, wherever you're watching this. This is our Interconnected series. I'm Adrian, and we're talking about the fact that relationships are the way of nature, and not, as we think in our culture, individual competition. Rather, collaboration is much more prevalent in nature, and in fact it's much healthier and all these. So we're talking about things we can see with our eyes, and our second example of this comes from Merlin talking about the way that trees are able to communicate with each other and share resources through underground networks of fungi for the UK viewers. Yeah, fungi, like mushrooms, like that fungus underground is connecting trees' roots to each other, so that they can essentially, if a tree is particularly lucky, was able to expose to all sorts of sunlight, is able to photosynthesize all this energy, but another tree is not so lucky, then they can talk to each other, and that tree can send over some of its energy and help out that lower ground brush, for example, and then the fungi just take a little percentage along the way. So that is a fact of nature. It's important to understand that soil itself is alive. Soil is full of these fungi and bacteria, no different than our stomachs are full of little bacteria swimming around too that are very much alive, living on their own scale inside of us, a little microscopic scale compared to what we live in. But they're very much alive, doing their own thing, and they're important to our survival. Same goes for soil. That's the difference between soil and dirt. I used to have a roommate that told me that, probably made fun of him. Sorry, Austin. But soil is different than dirt. It is, because soil has things that are alive, including these fungi that connect the tree's roots together. So we're going to take a look at Merlin. He'll explain it, because he can do it better than me. So his book is called The Entangled Life, and we'll just take a look here. So essentially, trees' roots are connected to each other through long chains of fungi. These fungi act as a communication highway and resource-sharing avenue for the trees. Those aren't the official technical terms. It's just what I call them. Easier to think of. When a plant is short on resources, other trees will send some of their food to help out. We think that trees are all a different height because they're competing for resources. That's our cultural narrative today, is competition. But this anthropomorphization is just a projection of our own twisted idea of survival of the fittest. We've really taken it out of context. Trees don't compete, they collaborate. Tall trees will photosynthesize energy, share it with the brush below, and then the brush repays the favor when the tall trees lose their leaves. It is an ecosystem. So no tree lives as an individual, they live as a part of a forest. And interestingly, after I came across Merlin, I happened to be reading a book called Team Human by Douglas Rushkoff, and he mentions this same thing, talking about the interconnectedness of trees. So I borrowed this quote from him because I think it's a great one. Cooperation and beneficial behavior of ecosystems are not the exception, but the rule. So if you're looking for some more information, go check out The Entangled Life, Team Human. Once again, worth mentioning, I'm not sponsored by these authors, publishing companies, anything. I'm not paid to promote their work. I genuinely think this is important work for us to understand, put together, build up on top of. So if you're curious, go check out Merlin Sheldrake for the mind-blowing realizations for how nature is so sophisticated. This is really a neural network that exists underground, just right before our eyes. And Douglas Rushkoff, Team Human, also a good book. We'll talk more about him separately and later. So that's been our Interconnected series, talking about fungi. Bet you didn't think you were going to be doing that today, but hope you enjoyed it.